Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Eden Zero, Chapter 112. When we last left our heroes, Shiki had gotten his aquatic breathing lacrima filled with Mother Ether, which will eventually, if they get in Mother Ether from a bunch of different places, will eventually lead them to Mother. But then Witch broke the news to Nadia about Andrew's death. And so Nadia went to the ship where Andrew crash landed, and there they found the relic, which brought the life back to Red Cave. With all that being done, the gang's business on Red Cave finished. They left the planet, leaving all the robots reawakened, and Nadia left to pick her life back up, with the knowledge that Andrew will never return. So all that being said, let's jump right on into Chapter 112, When You Live Life on a Ship. And our picture here has most of the cast, of the full cast of Eden Zero, everyone who is not already dead. I don't see Drakken on here, or Sabir in any way. Actually, it's not just the people who are because, old Sabir is alive and he's not on here. So maybe this is just people who are going to play a role in the Aoi Cosmos arc. Because you also see the fish of the Aoi Cosmos, but we also see the Sakura petals of the Sakura Cosmos on the left side. But we also see, the receptionist at the guild. That's the name I always forget. Crimson Torch or something. And then the other beekeeper from the Gilstark is also there. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how relevant the two of them are to this saga. But we open with the lacrima, with Mother Ether, that seems to be pointing in one direction. And Witch and Hermit are examining it. So this lacrima absorbed the Mother Ether, huh? It's fascinating. Moscow is also there. A profound Moskoi. And Pino chimes in. Miss Nadia said another relic lies in the direction the ether is flowing. And Rebecca's also there. We need to find it, absorb more Mother Ether, and build up power. And if we keep on doing that, eventually we'll reach Mother. And it's happy there. And Sister kind of says to herself, sounds like a pain. And Homer responds, nevertheless, we have no choice but to follow the path this ether indicates. If we're lucky, the next relic could open the way straight to Mother. That's being a little overly hopeful, Rebecca. But Shiki responds, oh yeah, I guess that's possible too. And Weisz steps in to change the topic. But more importantly, could we stop letting Drakken's goons in our crew? And behind him, we see Chris, Clean, and Laguna. While Chris and Laguna are trying to be, stoic and cool, Clean is, waving the rest of the group. And Chris responds, we'll be happy to leave as soon as you cure Clean. And Clean counters, aw, I'll miss them. And Laguna just looks at Weisz. What in blue blazes are you doing here? Your sorceress and I made a pact. And Weisz, ever the 2016 meme lord, looks at Laguna's shoes. And what are those? They're stilettos. Actually, here's a joke there. Weisz can only use old memes because he's from the distant past. That's almost certainly not intentional, but I'm gonna go with it. Gah, I do not understand kids' fashions of 50 years in the future. Because Weisz, you'll remember, did not live through his fight with Laguna in the original timeline, so he does not know what the stilettos are for. And Laguna responds, don't worry, when I found what I'm looking for, I'll leave. And Clean asks him, what are you looking for? I'm a wanted man in the Sakura Cosmos. I want a nice, comfortable planet to live on here in the Aoi Cosmos. I'm allowed on board until I find it. So that's a pretty straightforward answer to the mystery of what which offered Laguna that was brought up last chapter, or the chapter before. I think it was the chapter before this, before last. Just like a safe place to live, which is kind of I mean, it makes sense, but it's kind of a simple answer. And Shiki extends his hand, so that makes us friends. And Rebecca just snaps at him, how? And then Laguna turns away. Friendship was not in the deal. And Shiki, like, sniffles. And Chris also turns away. Let's go clean. And Hermit turns to Witch. Are you sure about this? I've limited our guests' access. It will be fine. And Weisz watches them go. You've got to be kidding me. They worked for Drakken. And Witch comes over to Shiki. My Lord Demon King. And Shiki turns around. May I continue to address you thus? But that's what you called Grandpa. We are the Demon King's 4 shining stars. And our Demon King, Lord Shiki, is you. And Hermit responds, Ziggy isn't the Demon King anymore. And Sister also joins in. Yeah, he's the enemy now. Homura, he has no right to call himself Demon King. So, I mean, this doesn't really accomplish all that much. We didn't really think they were going to betray Shiki. But it's reasserting their loyalty, their viewpoint on things. Well, you can call me what you want. But you know, Demon King sounds like a bad guy. And Rebecca chimes in, now you realize? But Witch stops him. No, Demon King is the title for the King of Magimek. He rules Magimek and shares his ether with the machines. And in Japanese, the word for demon is the same as the word for magical. But then Happy turns to Rebecca. Wasn't he, king of the demon world? And Rebecca responds, I thought it was the demon race. And we see Pino eyes glowing. So it's not referred to some kind of fey magic king? Now rewriting files. And so we're seeing the kind of, language barriers here. As, Rebecca and Happy and Shiki all read it as demon. But Pino is reading it as magic. That's something interesting to keep in mind. Also, I think, have we heard the term Magimek before? I mean, it's pretty easy to figure out, given that machines have magic. But, Anyway, just then Pino starts to levitate. Oh, because of saving gravity, of course. Magimek King. I like it. And everyone floats. And we see Shiki's ether is a lot more circular. Well, it was normally very straight lines and, diagonals. Now it's, circles and curved lines. Which is interesting. I don't know what it's about exactly. But just then, we change scenes to the Aoi Cosmos Coral Sector, aboard the Skull Ferry. And we finally check in with Elsie, for the first time since the end of the Eden's One arc. We see her thinking, Ziggy must have come to the Aoi Cosmos. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but he may have gone to see Nero. And one of her henchmen asks, why would he do that? Because they are both kings. Perhaps to pay each other respect. Or to destroy each other. Either way, let's not deal with Nero. Find a planet with good food and stay there for and then there's a beep. As Amira's brother, who we know is spying for Amira, whose name I don't remember exactly, but you know who he is. Highness, it's the Union Army. And she turns, and we see a fleet of government ships chasing after her. Justice. And then back on Justice's ship, as if sensing that Elsie has said his name. Elsie. Pain in the... whatever. Jesse, get rid of them. Jesse is the brother's name. I had forgotten. Get rid of? That's a fleet. We have to run. You can drop the act now. You called them here, did you not? Oh, shit. She's known the whole time. Oh, fuck, Elsie. Okay. And Jesse kind of gasps. And the whole crew is shocked and murmurs, what do you mean, Your Highness? Why would Jesse call the army on us? That's a little harsh for your usual teasing, Highness. And Elsie turns to Jesse. Did you think I had not noticed? No, what do you mean? Why would I? You're a government spy. Well, Jesse, and we see two members of her crew who are distinctly Warren and Max. Don't even try to hide that. And Jesse just kind of starts to sweat. This is your last chance. Will you rid us of them? If you do, I will hear you out. And Jesse continues sweating. I see. You have nothing to say. Send him to Justice's ship. What? If Jesse's a spy, toss him in the brig. No, we'll kill him. How dare you betray our princess? And Elsie calms her crew down. Settle down. He's just a boy. We should let him go home. Wait, how long have you known? About a month, perhaps. Why didn't you say anything? Because, look at him. He's just so cute. Elsie, when there's a spy, you have to deal with your shit. And her chief henchman, I think. I think the goggles guy is her chief henchman. That's beside the point. Think of all our secrets he's given to the government. And then someone else walks in. No worries there. We made all our important intel untransmittable, though I'm sure Jesse thinks he sent it. And Jesse, for the first time, basically openly admitting that he's guilty. What? And by the way, what little we see of this guy's face on page 11 reminds me of Loxus. But is not. It's, he's got this kind of flamey hair. He has like a flame design on his sleeve. Not a bite of our information has been leaked. And he enters with another guy. So the flame guy is, part of her pirate crew, the Princess Guard Goen. The other guy with him, I'm getting an ice vibe from him, is Hyoga. I suspect it's just a coincidence that the army found us here. And Jesse stands up, continuing to shake. Ugh. And then I think this is Goggles guy again. We only see the back of his head, so I can't tell. Goen, Hyoga, you knew about this? Well, yeah. Her Highness can't handle intel. You know that. So she came to me for help, and I went to Hyoga. And Hyoga corrects him. No, the other way around. Huh? She came to me first. And then Goen snaps at him. No, me! Who would ever go to you for help? Her Highness trusts me, alright? And Elsie stops them. Stop fighting. And then Elsie looks back at Jesse, I mean. You know they used to be a doctor and a firefighter? Now, for whatever reason, they're pirates. We have a crew from all kinds of different backgrounds. After living with us for a while, even a government agent could become family. That's why I didn't out you. And Justice turns back to Elsie, like shaking angrily. You'll never beat the Interstellar Union Army. And Goen and Hyoga both look at him. Huh? And Elsie sighs and turns away. I see. More's the pity. And then they stick him in an escape pod, tossing him back to the Union Army. And then we cut back to Justice's ship, where the burly guy, whose name I don't remember, a pod has been ejected from Elsie's ship. The little, rooster hair. I'm getting a signal. It looks like they're releasing a prisoner. Justice takes that kind of stoically. And Goen watches Jesse's pod. We're going to need better background checks on new crew from now on. This wouldn't have happened if we didn't just take anyone who comes along. And Elsie takes that criticism in stride. No, we will continue to welcome all. Just like the Eden Zero, when they rescued a small girl with nowhere else to go. I believe our time together creates bonds between us. And we see a flashback to Elsie's early days on the ship. Thus you build a family when you live life on a ship. We see Elsie tattered, very reminiscent of Urza in Tower of Heaven. At least my memories of that arc. It's been a long time. But she's being fed for presumably the first time in a long while. Sisters rubbing her hair. And then Goen and Hyoga smile at that. And then Elsie continues, for now, set a course for Foresta. A neutral sector. Even the government army watches their step there. And Elsie responds, and I hear the food is to die for. Of course, that's her true goal. And then we cut back to the Eden Zero, where Chris and Laguna are chomping down. I never thought I'd see your sorry face again. Laguna responds, I'm glad to see you're well, Sylph. You too, Clean. Is that a typo? Or a mistake somewhere? Because Sylph and Clean are the same person. Unless he... Because it would make sense, given the vibe of these two panels right here, that he would be kind of brusque to Chris, to Jean. But not as much to Clean. So it makes sense if that's supposed to be to Chris, but I'm not sure. Then Sylph continues, oh yeah, Laguna. That is not a code name. No, it's my real name. And Chris responds, so an actor leaves showbiz to commit acts of evil, and he doesn't even use a code name? Then to you, Drakken's business is evil? Your sister was a part of it, you know. And Clean asks, I was doing evil? No, you didn't do anything wrong. That actually kind of brings some questions into Clean. Like what exactly did she think she was doing? Like, Drakken is very, very much, like, openly evil. So it's kind of hard to believe she didn't notice that she was the bad guy. I don't know. I admit that we were in the underworld, but to be honest, I didn't think I was doing anything wrong either. Drakken didn't kill people. This is a Laguna, by the way. Drakken didn't kill people for no reason. Still, it did make my skin crawl when I found out what he really was. And Chris responds, one of his victims was Weisz's mother. That guy who's itching for a fight? Well, I won't cause trouble. If I like the next planet we find, I'll just get off there. And Moscow comes in. I hope it's a planet with good food. Laguna looks up at him. What's with this guy? Moskoy. He is my brother's best buddy. And Chris snaps it clean. We are not buddies. And then we see Foresta. Again. This time with Eden Zero there. Which means is going to be another arc with Elsie. Yay. And I think this is Witch speaking. The verdant planet Foresta. So that's it, huh? That is the planet to which the Mother Ether has guided us. And then we see Rebecca, who I think is looking over some, like, planet reviews. Whoa, look at this. I did a little research, and apparently the food here is really good. And Happy reads off it. Welcome to Foresta, home of the best cuisine in the Aoi Cosmos, it says. I can't wait. This is Pino, to which Weisz counters. But you have no taste buds. And then Hermit chimes in. I analyzed the Eden Zero log, and we did visit Foresta on our journey 15 years ago. And Sister asks, so you're saying we're following the same route again? And Homer is also there, so the three of them in a room. Then there must be a relic on that planet. I think so, and I found another curious term. Master Xenolith, instructor in the Magimek arts. He's known as the founder of Gravity Ether Gear Tactics, and this was his home planet. And Shiki, like, cat eyes. Oh, can we be friends? But he died 1,000 years ago. Shut down. And then we come to Foresta. Wait a second. 1,000 years means very little if there's a chronophage at work. But we see Foresta, and a couple of people. Are these the Dark Stars? Well, this has gotten to be a real mess, isn't it? And another person there with him responds, and this is all Ziggy's work? Oh no, I think it's someone new. I can't believe he wreaked this much havoc in our sector. Is he trying to get on Emperor Nero's bad side? That blasted ghost. Sha-ha-ha! Time to kill all the bots, innit? You ready to start purging this planet? Poseidon, Nero, Commando Team Beast commencing operations. We meet Commando Team Beast. Mora is the top hat guy who seems to have some anti-bot prejudices. Orc is the big, burly, fanged guy. And Brittany is the one woman of the team. And that's it. So yeah, that's chapter 112. A lot going on here. But can kind of very easily be divided into 3 sections. Bookended by the separate Eden Zero scenes. The first of which is just kind of catching up the other 3 Starshines on what happened on Red Cave, what's going on with the Mother Ether, how to eventually find Mother in the distant future. Um, and then the Starshines kind of, the Shining Stars, once again, declaring their allegiance to Shiki over Ziggy, which, I mean, we kind of already knew and kind of feels like time wasting. And then a discussion on the term Demon King, which is a little interesting. Oh, hold up. I just remembered. Shiki has been saying Magimek attack for a lot of his moves, right? If I'm not mistaken. So maybe Magimek is like a like a version of, or like a subset of Ether Gear, or maybe because Shiki spent his most of his life with robots, and they taught him to use his Ether Gear. He uses a more machine style, possibly? I'm not sure. Hopefully we'll get more answers when we meet, or as we come into contact with, or start to deal with Xenolith, who is apparently the founder of Gravity Ether Gear. Yeah. Which is the third part of the story. I'll get to the Elsie section at the end. As we see some more fun times with the ex-Drakken gang. I'm starting to see Chris and Clean as like permanent members of the crew. I think Laguna could still leave, but at this point, I mean, they're at least there for the long haul until Sister can figure out what's wrong with Clean, or how to cure Clean from whoever put the hair clips on her. Laguna, I could see leaving after Foresta. Possibly, if he likes Foresta, which apparently everyone likes Foresta. But with that, the chapter ends with us meeting our new bad guys for the arc, presumably. Given that they seem to be anti-Ziggy, perhaps some allegiance could be had with them. But the fact that Mora discusses his goal to kill all the bots does not bode well for a long-term alliance. And if the Eden Zero gang ends up taking out Team Beast, that could put them in Nero's crosshairs, which could give shape to the Aoi Cosmos saga as a whole. But yeah, that's the chapter from the Eden Zero crew side. The real meat of the chapter, though, comes from Elsie, where after an attack by the Union Army, she reveals that she's known Jesse's been a spy for at least a month. And it really is a great scene as like we see Elsie, kind of drive Jesse further and further into a corner, until he finally admits that, like, yeah, I'm picking the winning side. And it doesn't end too well for him as he gets kind of blasted into space, admittedly blasted back to the Union Army. But yeah, that Jesse is, kind of out of the crew. The Union has lost their what they thought was an intelligence asset in Jesse. For at least a month, he's been kind of useless after Elsie figured it out and went to Gohan and Hyoga, who are two very cool characters who I want to see more of. Elsie is also going to Foresta, so hopefully we'll get to see more of them. As, whatever happens on Foresta, the two crews form another alliance. But yeah, all that being said, that's kind of all there is to this chapter, which all there is a huge chapter. But yeah, that's all I have to say for this video. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, or, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!